Hey, welcome to KeysWord2Life Podcast. I'm Key and this is Indy. Welcome her to my first Girls Talk segment here.
Yay! Oh my God, I'm on the first one?
You're on the first one. I'm excited. I'm real excited.
I'm honored. Let's go.
No, for sure. I'm going to put you on the spot just like you put me on the spot. So you can go ahead and tell me about yourself.
Oh, wow.
Tell me about yourself,
This
please.
a tick for tack thing?
It is. You too. And I have to run and get the tag.
Okay.
Briefly, other than Bosses and Brunches Podcast on YouTube or SurfaceLevelConversations on IG.
So,
author, entrepreneur, activist, pillar of the community, hot commodity, child of God.
Dang. Okay. You
how I feel about you.
You did that.
For sure.
So yeah, I'm all the above.
Yeah.
Surface Level Conversations is my baby. Bosses and Brunches is too. But if you go on my YouTube, then you'll see Surface Level is everywhere. Bosses and Brunches is like it's a point, and then I had to put a pause in it. I put a little tack right there, like we gonna pin that.
Okay, pin it like hiatus. So you're coming back on it.
Yeah, I'm coming back on it, and it's gonna be dope. I feel like it's gonna, in my spirit, I'm gonna come back on it in the summertime.
Yes,
in the summer, in my spirit, and it's gonna be dope because I got this big brain that God blessed me with, and it's just like a visionary. That's what I am. I'm a visionary. I am a author, y'all. I'm trying to get used to that. I feel like the artist word, because a lot of people say that because I do poetry, my book is actually a poetry journal.
Okay.
Because I do that, they feel like that I'm an artist, and I'm like, no,
I mean, in a sense,
I'm actually a healer. Because, and I say that because in order to be a healer, you have to heal yourself, right? And my poetry is healing for me. So I feel like it's going to be healing for everyone else.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say I heal through writing. I'm not going to give myself the artist title.
Heal yourself through writing and also heal others through writing?
Yeah.
For sure. What got you started on Surface Level Conversations or just Bosses and Brunches?
Bosses and Brunches. So I started off with Bosses and Brunches, and it's because I'm always having like conversations, and I love to cook. I am known for my brunches. So
well, let me know, because I love to eat. We'll get back into it.
Yeah, look, I love to eat.
She said brunch, and I'm like, and I love brunch. So I was like, what?
I'm known for my brunches, and I started catering. It started off as Indy's experience. And I started off catering, but I was always tending to like compare myself to others. With me just now getting started and not having like a culinary background, I can just cook my ass off.
Yeah.
So I started off with that, and I just found a love to talk to people about different stuff. And even when I was catering, I would end up having like some dope conversations with some entrepreneurs though.
Yes.
So
the best kind of conversations.
So the whole thing was, let's do a podcast with Bosses and Brunches where I cook brunch and we have a conversation over brunch. Yeah. I never got to do that because when I started off, I wanted to let people know who I was, and it just kept going, and somehow it got into music, and I was like, it's not going the way I wanted it to go. Like,
not at all.
I'm interviewing like artists and stuff, and I'm like, Bosses and Brunches don't even make sense right now. So I put a pin in that, and then some of the artists had some deep like shit that we were talking about, and I'm like,
Brunch is out the mix at this point.
Yeah, Brunch is out the mix. Bosses is out the mix. I'm not gonna say, because some artists are bosses
for sure. It just wasn't about that.
Yeah, like when I say artists, I mean like hip hop, R&B, singers, country, those type of people. So they had a great background, but I was like, dude, my conversations that I have, I wish people could hear them. Yeah. Like I have enlightening conversations. I have some deep conversations, and it's conversations that, you know, I want to bring to others that are surface level minded. Yeah. And that's where I came up with Surface Level Conversations.
I'm glad you answered that, because like, when I would say it out loud, like if I was describing you to somebody, or like before we did our podcast on your thing, and I would be like, yeah, she's on Surface Level Conversations on IG. If you've ever heard of it, he was like, or people be like, I don't really, have those, or I don't do those. And I'd be like, no, I think it's like a play on words. Like I think she's trying. Yeah, I was like, I think it's a play on words. Because the people I'm talking to, they know I don't usually have surface level conversations either. And so I was like, I like that.
Yeah, it is definitely a play on words, because, anyone who listens to surface level, you're going to be like, this ain't surface level.
Yeah.
This is what? Hold on. So it's basically where I take the deep conversations and bring them to the surface for surface level minded people.
Yeah.
And I try to kind of dim down my words and my knowledge to be able to cater to them so they can understand it, but also cater to the deep thinkers as well.
For sure.
So that's why I did that surface level conversation.
Definitely. That's why I feel like we're so aligned, because you do that to bring people up to awareness. Mm-hmm. This is literally what I do my stuff for sure. Yes. For sure. Anything else you like to tell about yourself?
Girl, listen, I'm bomb. No, I'm just playing.
Listen,
dope personality. But no, like, I'm just Indy. I call myself Indy the goddess, and people are like, I know some people are like, oh my God. Listen, I'm saying Indy the goddess because of how I am, how I carry myself, how I flow in my divine feminine, how I speak, how I do things.
Yeah, for sure.
I give goddess energy.
Yeah, your demeanor definitely does. Mm-hmm.
It's no cattiness with me. I'm like a girl's girl. Like, I am so uplifting when it comes to that.
I'm so glad you said girl's girl. What do you think a girl's girl is? I'm so glad you said that you were a girl's girl. I say that too, but I feel like I get that question mark head tilt when I say that, because not in my generation, nobody's a girl's girl anymore, honestly.
Oh God,
everything's really catty and real. And I'm competitive, but like not to the point where I feel like we gotta compare feminine stuff. You know what I'm saying? If you're feminine, I'm feminine. Like, we're feminine together. And I feel like as women, we're better united than we are apart, for sure. But in my generation, I don't know. I hear a lot of girls say they're not a girl's girl ever since high school. And it was strange for me because I grew up with my father and did like tomboy things all the time, but I've always been a girl's girl. I got 2 sisters. Like, I love to support women and be there for women and all of that. So, but what do you think a girl's girl is? What would you say? Since you're a girl's girl.
A girl's girl is basically what you just said, the support of other women.
For sure.
Like, continuously uplifting women. When you see someone, just giving them a compliment, and it comes out literally from me. It's just who I am. So it's really genuine. So I'm like, I'll tell you all the time, like, even if I text you, I'm like, hey, beautiful, because a lot of times some women don't hear that,
for sure.
Or they hear it from men who just want to get in their pants.
Yeah.
But helping other women, just letting women know, like, you have somebody, even the protection part of it, being there to what my capacity allows me to be.
Yeah, for sure.
For them in their healing process, and giving them understanding, saving. Like, I'm not going to say that I'm putting on a cape and I'm going to save every woman in this world, but I save you through different things.
Yeah.
Like my poetry journal. I never once thought I was going to put out something like that, but I feel like it's so healing. And
is it directed towards women?
I think when you read it,
neutral?
It's neutral.
Okay.
But I feel like that a lot of women is going to be able to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's called Echoes of Love, Lessons of Loss.
Okay.
So it's definitely something deep. And it comes out February 7th, which is a week before Valentine's Day. So you can, like, your man can order you this journal with a poetry book. It has 22 poems. It has 22 introductions. It has 5 questions per poem. So you have all of that. This deep, self-reflecting, self-healing questions.
So it's like an active self-work book as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's it. Like, a girl's girl is not. I get it. Like, a lot of women. I don't have, like, if you look at my stuff, I don't worry about who likes my stuff and who don't.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna like your stuff. Like, I'm not gonna get pissed off because, oh my God, I see you watching my page, which I really don't even look at my stories and who watches them. I guess I need to start doing that. I'm just
a little bit,
just a little.
Just okay. I think because you gotta have balance though. Once you start, I think it's a slippery slope of this outside validation that you're kind of getting now, or once you see it, maybe it hits like your ego in a sense. I think it's like a slippery slope though, because I've struggled with balance when I'm looking at social media, and I always have to take these gigantic breaks because I feel like once I go in strong with anything that I'm doing, whether I'm scrolling or trying to like research or find new things or network with different people, and I think it's overwhelming. So definitely even looking at stuff like that, like stories or
I try not to
likes or comments or whatever.
And that's the biggest thing. Like, if it's not a notification for me, I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't go on my story after I post it and be like, who watched it?
Yeah.
But because I'm not, like, I don't have no drama. I don't think anyone is just watching just to be watching. Now, it has been a point to where sometimes on Facebook, I'll post something and I get like 500 views, but I can post that same thing and get 5 likes. Mm-hmm. But I got 500 views, 400
people
loves.
Just looking at you.
It'd be like 400. And I'm like, okay, so basically if I post this on my story, okay.
You're right. You get the algorithm and how it's kind of like,
what is going on?
It is, yeah. It's a lot for me to get into it because I didn't grow up like really just so honed in on technology. I really was outside playing in the dirt. So
it's a
little different to get into the technology world, and I do way better in person than I ever do on text, on a car.
Oh, you definitely do. I'm not gonna lie, but that's okay.
I do.
But yeah, I would say that's my definition of girls girl. Like support, like no hating. Like I ain't got no hating on you. I understand, like it's no cattiness, it's no drama. I'm not feeding into it. I don't have no beef with nobody. Like it's straight like love. But I do say that I am love. And when people ask me that, it's because I really feel like I'm unconditional love. I feel like I am like a mirror image of God because I feel like God is, everything was made with love and God is love.
Amen.
So I'm just like, I walk, talk, be, do everything in love.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, we as women, we bring life. We do a lot with this. We create. We are creators of everything, I'm going to say.
Everything.
So why not help take care of the creators?
For me as a girl's girl, it's big for me not to judge other women. It's big for me not to do that because I feel like any situation a woman can get into, I could also be in, if that makes sense. I just feel like a woman's heart is like really united. I could really feel or empathize with the woman when she says she goes through the things she goes through, even if I've never been through it. And so like, yeah, that's really big on me because I think like in my generation, why I don't have a girl tribe now is because it's kind of all filled up with judgment and all filled up with drama. And as soon as somebody does something that somebody else didn't do, can't nobody understand it. Can't nobody relate or put themselves in somebody else's shoes. And I'm big on that. I'm big on that with family, friends, my sisters, my brother. Like, I'm big on that. So where it's like, I feel for you. You know, if you're my friend, if anything, anybody can reach out to me. So definitely girls girl. I've been saying I'm a girls girl for a long time. I'm trying to find a tribe. I really am. I'm trying to find some type of support group and collective, because I think that it would make me better, and I'm down for things that benefit me now. For sure. Do you have a girl tribe?
I'm gonna say that I have. So with me,
because right now my girl tribe is like my little sisters. Literally.
And that's my thing. Like I can say that I have like maybe 5 real friends, and one of them is a guy, but he's my best friend, and he's a girl. He's the girl, but he dressed like a boy. He's
flamboyant. Yeah,
he's the girl. He's the girl, because when I be talking to him, I be like, "Hey, girl," and he be like, "Right." And so
it's the mannerisms, and it's like, I know it.
Yeah. So
he gets as much as he can.
I have like that 5, but out of that, and I hope they don't take this the wrong way because they're gonna watch this, but out of that, when it comes to like-mindedness or me being able to learn and grow and things like that, I feel like maybe 2 of them.
Okay. When you say like-mindedness, are you speaking of like with alignment and how you think or maybe how you move?
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. And it's because I feel like December was like a hard month for me, but I feel like it was more so something that I was going through to learn me, and God needed me to be in solitude to understand certain things and get rid of certain parts of me. So where I am today, seriously today, I'm not what I was in December, and I don't think a lot of people can understand that because I went from like right here to right here, literally like mindset, actions, wording on things, feelings, everything. Like I have really like I did a huge jump. So I don't feel like a lot of people can relate to that. So when you ask me, do I have that tribe?
Yeah.
It's funny. I don't know if you watched my first episode of Surface Level, because God was like, you gonna do this, and I'm like, God, I'm trying to focus on I'm trying to focus.
He will move you where he wants you. He will move you where you want you.
Listen, that feeling, it would not go away. I was like, okay, I'm finna sit down and do this. I don't got nothing to talk about. But in the ending, I was like, you know what, I am here to build my tribe, like through Surface Level, just like you are here to build your tribe, Keys tribe, whatever you want to call it, because I feel like a tribe is going to support you everywhere you go, and they're going to be able to learn from you, but they're going to also be able to instill things in you as well that you didn't know that you needed.
Yes, I'm big on iron sharpens iron, and that's why it's so difficult for me to call somebody my friend. Because anybody who I mess with, I love y'all. But I'm going to say it right now, I don't necessarily have anybody like-minded or who moves. Not necessarily how I move, but how you spoke about last year, you were here, and then now you're here. That's how I feel. I feel like there's this big jump of intention and moving so intentional and moving to like as best as I can. Because I know I mess up and fall short. But as best as I can, I'm moving with like intention. Like, it's a method to my madness now. I'm not just willy-nilly, it's a reason to my rhyme, and I just, so I feel that when you said that, for sure.
That was me too. Like today I got that. It's funny because I feel like this is all alignment, because I got a question like, I hope your day is going well. How's your day going? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, my day is going intentional. Like, of course, my day is productive. Of course, I'm getting the knowledge that I need, and my cup is overflowing. Of course, I'm doing everything that I need to do in order to complete or achieve my goals. Like, because everything that I'm doing every day now is intentional. Like, I'm not doing nothing until these things are done.
Yes. Work first, play later.
Play later. And so everything, I was like, intention. I wake up and I'm listening to affirmations when I go to sleep and when I wake up. Because that's when I've learned through podcasts, your mind, your subconscious is most active when you're asleep, and right before you go to sleep and right when you wake up.
Yeah.
So in order to take your mind from being like pessimistic or having these negative thoughts about you or anything, you listen to positive things like affirmations right before bed, right before you fall asleep, and right when you wake up, in order to change that in your mind to where it's positive and it's more optimistic.
Yeah.
So I'm on that now.
For sure.
I don't feel like a lot of people understand that.
No, for real. I get that. Like, I get that, because I'm even trying to read before bed now instead of watch like murder documentaries or cop cams, because that's what I watch. But all that stuff, no, for sure, documentaries and cop cams, like crazy. Like
interesting.
Ritually and habitually, like for real, every night before bed. It's like I don't know, but I'm trying to stop that, because I realized what you were just speaking about. I also heard about eyes being portals. And so like what you take in is important, and I think that the things that I watch cater to my anxiety, and I'm trying to be better with that. And so reading before bed has become like my new thing. Like I said, move intentional. So my rituals have to be different. The way I wake up has to be different. And the way I move, it has to be different. So I feel that definitely.
When you say something about eyes being portals, it's like you have to watch everything that you intake. That's everything. What you see, what you hear, what you eat,
all that.
And then I always say something. I think I had a podcast like we are in and out beings. So what goes in must come out. So everything that you're taking in is going to come out some type of way. Yes. So it may be with your anxiety.
No, 100%.
It may be with everything, like even sometimes your toxic traits, or your stomach is hurting, and you got all this stuff going on. It has to come out. Yeah. So everything that you're taking in, it has to come out. So you're right. You
definitely. I think
mindful of those
a lot of my toxic traits I got like from my formative years from my parents, and that was put into me. And so like I realized when it was coming out towards other people, and that whole thing of being mad. So now I'm mad at the world, and now I'm miserable. So now I need a little company with me. Like I definitely
we spoke on that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm bad. Like I speak on it often because of how I can really look back in the past and see who I was to who I am now. And I'm so proud because I no longer am attached to like other people's, like when people are fussing at me, I no longer make it about me. You know, it's really you and whatever you have going on, because I feel the same way.
Ooh, let me tell you, girl, that's something that I have realized too. I recently got in therapy in December. Yes.
Oh my God.
Listen,
Black people do not do therapy. I am
girl, no, ma'am. I need it because
does not support therapy. I'm telling you,
I made it a point to become a better me and do the self work. And 100%. I feel like you thinking that you're just doing self work on yourself by yourself. Even though there is God, you know, you got God, but you have to have some help.
And that's the narrative for the community right in there. Yeah. Only God and yourself. And that is what keeps you back. Definitely what keeps me back, because I still have that same mentality now. Like, my granny, my daddy don't believe don't believe in all that, you know. So speaking on that kind of makes you sound a little crazy in the head to them. Yeah. But I want to get into therapy too, but I
love my therapist. She is not the yes man, she's not the and why did you do that, and what made you she listens and she responds, girl, with full paragraphs, and she gives me assignments like, you need to work on this, like we're doing parts work on me right now. And that's where I'm taking different parts of me. Like when you're not in therapy and you haven't really studied, you don't know that you have an inner adult and you have an inner child, you know. And then you have your adult self. And all of these have, like, your adult self is balanced. Like that's where you want to be at. But then you have your inner child, where there's two parts to that. It's a good and a bad, but you have to balance it. Yeah. And it's not really bad. It's only bad when you are focused on that. Yeah. And that's what you're behaving in, and that's what you're acting in, or whatever the case may be. And the adult self is the same thing. Yeah. You would never know that until, you know, you talk to someone who can see that from an outside looking in. And that's where those conversations come into place. You can't think that, you know, I'm going to do this by myself. No, you need someone. I'm not saying that you have to get a therapist. I'm saying that you need someone that's a biased person who don't know you from the man in the moon.
I know.
Who's going to listen to you, who's actually going to take it in and be like, oh, you need this, and you need this, and you need this. And I'm like, look, I want to be better. And I want to heal to the point to where when this shows back up, when I get to my next level in life, I'm going to be able to handle it a totally different way than what I handled it this time.
For sure.
The only way I'm going to do that is by healing and knowing, like, oh, damn, I'm triggered. Oh, darn, I'm in orange right now. I need to get back to green. Let me think about this. Let me sit. Let me take this in. Let me calm down. Let me go to my safe space, whether it's in my head or whether I walk away from something and then come back and be able to handle it a different way. I'll never be able to do that until I have someone that I'm talking to. And then when you do it, you got to be honest. Yeah. Girl, she be asking me questions. I'm like, girl, I'm not going to answer that. Like, she asked me a question. Indy. Girl, like, girl, I'm not gonna answer that shit. Like, girl, next, I'm perfect. But listen,
I feel you on that, and it be like that. Yeah, it do. That's inspiring. That's inspiring to sit close to somebody who's getting the tools that they need to get to actually heal. Because one thing about me, I'm real self-aware. I know my triggers. I know like what upsets me. I'm real self-aware of myself and my emotions. I just don't know what to do to fix them, or don't know what to do to make them better. I can tell a person, hey, I'm mad, I'm upset, or I can tell a person straight up, no, I'm triggered. That triggered the fuck out of me. Back up a little bit. But I don't know how to deal with my emotions in real time. I don't want to have to shut down and then come back to it. I hate that, because then I'll never come back to it. I'll leave it alone. I'm gonna leave it alone. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it alone. And I feel like that's just aiding and abetting to more trauma, to more anxiety, to more issues that aren't healing or going towards healing. So yeah, it's really inspiring. I'm glad that you're in therapy. I'm so proud of you.
Listen, I'm proud of you. Listen, I'm proud of me too, because man, baby, it's hard. But I had noticed that I needed therapy when something happened and I did something towards someone that I really loved that I did not mean to do. And then I started noticing different things, like I had noticed that I had, because it was a question she asked me, what do I take away from myself in order to attach to different relationships? Yeah. And I didn't notice that one of my things was discernment. And I was sitting here, and it was a person that I thought was clapping and happy for me. And this person was really, I don't know what they were doing. I'm not going to speak bad, but it was like when you twist my words and lie on me intentionally and gossip, and I told you I don't do things like that. And in order to hurt me, because if you're doing this for someone that I truly love and will never say or do or make be bad, like
not a motive
bad
look different.
Yeah, it was no motive. And I was clapping no matter what, and you do that and make it seem like that it was the opposite, or that I'm talking bad or talking down. That's a problem for me, and that hurts.
It's coming from your
character.
And
I was like, what's crazy? I had these different things that God was showing me, and I was having these different feelings, but my discernment was going out the window. I was going against my intuition. I was going against everything.
And you were abandoning yourself.
I was abandoning myself. Disrespectful as shit to me.
Yes.
Okay?
I've been there.
You have? Yeah. Girl. Yes. And then you got to learn the hard way.
Yes.
I said, why I got to do this, God? Okay, I get it. What else?
Let me stop touching the hot stove.
Listen,
I feel that though.
Touching the hot stove.
That's what it feels like. It feels like that because I think I have like real kind of my relationship with God. God know I'm stubborn. God know I'm stubborn, and I like stuff my way. But He gonna always have it His way, and I'm always cool with that. But definitely discernment, I've struggled with as well because I am now stepping away from my intuition, which is abandoning myself and sticking with somebody else, which is really kind of just like an attachment issue for me in a sense, because I'm always kind of want to keep people close that I got close. But yeah, definitely, I realized it about myself when it came to discernment and how I needed to work on that and really just go with my intuition and my gut and be okay with that. It's okay to trust myself. It's okay if this person ain't who I might think they are, and if it's okay with my feelings. Like I had to really create a better relationship with myself in order to have better discernment about people around me, because I know how I'm moving. I have no motives. I have nothing I want from nobody. I'm happy for you. I'm glad for you. I love that for you. And I mean all of that and then some. I can give because I always feel like I'm filled up by the Lord. So it's nothing to give love. It's not like I have no motives. It's nothing I want from you and why I'm acting this way. It's nothing.
Come on.
And so when I find out that people got motives, I'm like, you're plotting? Damn, you're plotting.
Like you've been plotting this whole time.
I'm sitting here willy-nilly in the rainbows and then with the unicorns in your...
Like I'm sitting here like giving all my little sparkles and everything.
Do you hear me? Emerald City turned into Kansas real quick. We were no longer yellow brick roads anymore, and I don't like that. Because I really don't move with too many motives. And if I do, I'm real open with that. If I come to you and need something from you or help, I'm open with that and direct because it ain't no sense in me kikiing in your face or small talk. Not necessarily a small talker. So
I don't need no small talk.
Whatever I don't have too much time, or maybe I do got time for it, but I don't want to do it.
No time. Just a bad bit, but I don't think I want
it. It's like, what I'm saying? It has to be real, like small for real. But definitely, I've been through stuff like that where you don't necessarily know people's motives, and it hurts because it's like, now that person hurt you and you hurt you because you seen signs, but it's kind of like you didn't know if the signs were the actual signs.
Because you're like, I don't have a motive. I'm great.
Oh no, they're not like that. But it's like
I'm happy for them genuinely. I'm here for them no matter what. And it's like, damn, you really like
exactly shit.
Like, people be hating. People still do that. People still want to see you hurt because they're hurt. People still want to...
Even more now than ever, I believe.
Yes. Like, it's so much. And I'm like, what the hell? Even down to, like, just being, I guess... I'm not going to say naive. I don't use my discernment when it comes to men, with us being in podcasting and stuff, how we have to sometimes network. Or even like having an entrepreneurial mindset. I'm like, I don't care where I'm at. I can be at a strip club and I'm like, business. And a lot of times you don't even notice, like, men may have this motive, like, business. So, and it's like, damn, like, I'm trying to give everybody a clean slate because I felt like it was toxic for me to think that all men are the same and moving in that way. But now after going through certain shit, I'm like, well, damn, all men are the same. Once again, I gotta move in this way because
that's literally. And I'm gonna say I was naive, literally, and I still feel like it in a sense because I didn't have my first boyfriend until 20. It was my first boyfriend, and we for sure, and we dated for 3 years, and I learned a lot about myself in that relationship. Reflected a lot on myself. Seeing how fucked up I was, or just seeing how good I was. So serious, like how fucked up I was. Because I think in those years at the time, I was on some inner child stuff. Now I feel like teenager. I feel like I'm healing through stuff on some teenage stuff. But it was really like in my early 20s, I was really kind of guilty and grief like about my inner child. So I just already was hurting. Then you're in a relationship that's going to reflect who you are, you know, and that was coming back to my face too fast, too often. So after that, and he was a great guy. So I didn't want to put, and I mean, he did some fucked up shit, whatever, but I still speak highly of him, highly of anybody really. But I think that that was my view. Like I didn't want to have to go into any relationship putting my past relationships on this one. I didn't want anybody else having to pay for what somebody else had to do, because I don't like doing that shit. I've been in situations where somebody's questioning me and trusting me just because of what somebody else did, and I hate that. It's really a pet peeve for me. So I try not to do this to other people. But now, yeah. I mean, with my generation, I just be like now, like, yeah, like y'all are all the same. All y'all want is, you know what I'm saying? And I don't blame you. Perhaps if I see me walking down the street, I'll be on the same thing. I want to know my name. I don't know what I got going on too.
But
so
listen, I feel like though, if I see me, I think I'd wife me though. I feel like you would be wife too though. You want me to tell you why? It's just the demeanor of how you carry yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like
same. You see how what I said when you came in here?
You were there, honey. You tried too hard. You were so good.
Like, what is it?
Like, what is going on? Shit, no, you tried too hard, honey. Like, you better make this.
No, I definitely feel that. I think that I'm better. I used to be kind of like disgusted or mad just with men approaching me wanting to have sex, but now I'm just kind of like, I'm grown now. It's gonna happen. I'm beautiful. I'm young. I got stuff going on for myself, so I know they're gonna approach me, and now I've just got better discernment on which men is what and how I know, like,
you know what,
who's trying to do what, because your motive is me. You want me in some form of fashion. Me. That's the motive. I get it.
Want me too.
That's why I don't be too mad.
I ain't even mad.
Some days I'll be bothered. Some days I don't want to be bothered, and I'll be like, please, I came to the store to shop. I came to the gas station to get gas. I came to the gym to work out. That was my motive. That's it.
That was the intention.
That was the intention. So
I move with intention. So you know, and when I think about it, it is naive when it comes to things like, and then it's using that discernment. So you're right. I was naive, but it was like business stuff, like business. What is your motive? And then each time I had, you know, somebody with me.
Yeah.
The same person. Like, and I let it be known, or you already know. And it's like, so, and when this person got to point something out to you, then now I look slow. Or like Becky with the blonde hair. Sorry. No offense. But I'm trying to say, like, acting blind. And it's like, no, I just didn't want to see them in that way. Like, I didn't have a motive, and I wasn't interested at all.
I've had to dial back just kind of like on my friendliness, because it'll come off as flirting.
Boom! That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Too freaking friendly.
Too friendly. I mean, I'm genuinely just that being my disposition. Just me. You know, I can have a great I'm a conversationalist. I can converse with anybody, compliment everybody. And it doesn't mean I want you or want to have sex with you. It doesn't mean I desire you. It doesn't even mean I want to see you again after this or ever again. But I just feel like the way I was raised, like, you have to work harder to be a bitch to people.
Yeah.
So the fact that, you know, I just like easy shit, like I just, you know, but now I'm learning to be more quiet. I don't gotta talk to everybody talking to me. I don't gotta converse with everybody. I don't have to be in everybody's face. And I really never cared to be. I don't initiate a lot of conversations. I just make them better. Yeah. You probably start the conversation. I just made it better. And now here we are, and you thinking I fuck with you like that just because my conversation is that good.
Yep. No, and that's the thing. And it's like, in all honesty, when I look at it, it's the same with me. Like, I am friendly. Like, don't get it twisted. I can be her. Okay, I can be that.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I choose not to, especially in certain environments, because I done had drinks poured on me. I done had men trying to fight me because of denial. So it's like, oh,
you lost me at drinks. You lost me at drinks.
I had a guy that literally, and I don't know if I'm traumatized from it or what, but he was trying to talk to me. He was so mad that I didn't want to talk to him that he took the cup in his hand and did like that to me on top of my damn head. Poured the drink on me.
Yeah, I'd be in jail.
And everybody that was like, even guys I didn't know, like started like, what the, like,
yes.
I was like, and I was just standing there like, I didn't do anything. And girl, I was just so like, and I let you down in the most nice way.
Yeah. When I really could have cut it up with you. I really could have maybe hurt your feelings.
Oof. Because listen, when you're intellectual like us, our tongues is like,
man, I be sparing a lot of folks. I've learned through discernment. It's best for me to be quiet. It's best because if I get to, it's a slippery slope. Once I start and you want to go there, we're gonna go there.
It's the year of silence.
Oh my, it really is.
And I don't know if you. I feel like that you probably didn't look at my podcast, but I said that. I said
the latest one.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think I just
a lot of people didn't look at it, but that's okay because I didn't promote it, so it's fine. But you said that silence. This is alignment. I literally said that it's my year of silence, like silence. I just don't need to speak too much. I don't need to talk to too many people.
Too.
I need to be in my little space. I need to sometimes have these days of solitude where it's just me and God. I need to be focused. I need to have my goals right here and move with intention. It's so much that I have to do. So even going to different places, it's like, India, at this point, I don't even have to have a conversation with you. Baby, I'm just going to be silent.
Yeah.
And you're going to talk to yourself.
Yeah. This year is really about me and God, for real.
Me and God.
And God, I feel like it moves a lot when you're still and you're silent and you're in your solitude. And I feel that it's a lonely road, though. Real lonely, especially when it's like in my last podcast, I just talked about how I feel like within these past few years, had I put all that time that I put into other people, into myself, I wonder who I'd be. So now I feel like God's giving me what I want, and I feel like these next few years of my life will be a lot of focus into me, and I'm super excited. But I know that it's kind of just me and Him now, and whoever I can be aligned with. But that's rare. That's rare, especially my generation, because I want to grow with my generation, but it's rare. Everybody want to focus on the bullshit. And I could care less about the bullshit. So yeah, definitely. It's a year of silence. It's a year to just do, really about action. I don't want to be around too many folks that talk too much. I don't want to hear about what you're going to do, finna do.
Tell me what you just got completed, honey.
You feel me? Because
did you complete it?
Talk is cheap. And that's why everybody's walking around with bags of it. Like it's a delicacy.
Just talking.
Just talking.
Yapping.
And I just want to put action to it. And then I'll say it when it's done. And it's out there and it's on display. And then we can talk about it, because action is so important to me right now. None of that right there. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. Put the action into it. Whatever you say you're going to do, make it happen.
And you know what's crazy? That's how I've been, because, a lot of people didn't know I was writing a book.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you told me that. Yeah, when you told me that, I was like, damn, okay, I thought it works. With the book.
And it's actually published and it drops on February 7th. Like, it's done. So here I go talking about it. Like, I'm not going to tell, like, I'm tired of talking.
Tired of talking. And that's a lot coming from us.
Right, because we talk a damn lot.
Like, that's a lot. I got a lot to say.
I got a whole lot.
But I'm done with that bullshit, and I'm done with that finna do, and I'm done with that gonna do. Definitely gonna put just way more action into things that I know I need to get done. Just as far as like, gym content that are coming out this year. I've always loved working out. And so I'm just was like, okay, I guess I'll do this too. So I'm super excited about that. And just this podcast, being consistent with this and no longer letting just my feelings triumph the facts. The facts of what I need to do or what I need to get done. Like you were talking about business and how you can just kind of be business. Me too. When it comes to business, I can be really objective, because it ain't about my feelings, your feelings. It's about the greater picture, the bigger picture of the business. Yeah. And I lose sight a lot of that with a lot of just anybody, because everybody worried about kind of how they feel about it. But not every day I want to go to the gym is how I start thinking about it. Literally, if God was to come down right now and be like, Kiana, you can go to the gym and work out and get the body you want, or you can push this button and make it easy. I'm going to push that button every time. Because every day I want to get up and go to the gym. I don't want to, like, it's a lot of days I don't, but there's a goal I want. So none of that matters. None of that matters when I feel like I don't want to get up. None of that matters when I feel like I don't want to cook and eat and get my calories in or whatever. None of that matters because it's like I see something and I'm going to get it. Yep. And I don't want to talk about it. I just want to get it done. I don't want to do too much complaining. I'm going to give myself some grace to rant every now and then. It's important for me to let that out. But other than that, like, more gratitude than anything.
You know what's crazy? Like, I had to let some stuff out myself. I was going through like an emotional roller coaster. No one knew it. Yeah, girl, when I do that, it's like solitude.
Gotta be alone.
It was last weekend, girl, and I drove to, it was recent. Like, yeah, it was last weekend. Or it was close to this week, okay? Yeah. We're going to say sometime earlier this week, maybe a Sunday or something. And it was like a full moon. And I just got in my car and I drove to Centennial Park. And when I tell you, I sat in there and I screamed, I cried, I talked to God, and I told God, I'm releasing all of these emotions right now.
Oh my goodness.
Because I don't want to feel them anymore. And I was screaming and crying and screaming and crying and screaming and crying. I'm like, this got to come out. And when that happened, I then spoke to myself, uplifting, positive things. What I am and what I'm doing and what I'm being this year at this moment from here on out.
Yes.
And I drove off and I went to sleep, and the next day I felt fucking great.
Amen.
And I was like,
that had to be just not too long ago because it was just a full moon.
Yeah, it was probably
recent. It was recent.
It was probably
I was going
Monday.
through the same thing. I was going through the same thing in my driveway in my car. And I was kind of reflecting over last year and how much I did not let out and how much I didn't speak about, I didn't tell nobody about, and I just held it in. Yes. And I talked to God, and I needed him to hear my heart because I didn't want to speak to nobody else about it. Yeah. Nobody could have had no solution for me. When nobody, and I wouldn't say that anybody wasn't going to have any sentiment or sympathy for me, or empathy or feel for me, but it's something that I needed God to lift the burden. I needed him to lift like the heavyweight so I could move forward with everything I needed to do. And, honestly, I'm not too educated about the moons or anything like that, but it was literally just recently I was in my car. And so when you said that, I was like, man, God moving, because I was crying and I just was like, man, like, don't nobody know what I went through last year to this, everybody just sees me looking good, and that's how I like it.
Hey, y'all.
No, for real, and that's how I like it. I
love it that way.
That's how I like it. I don't want people to see me sweat, but it's unrealistic. It's unrealistic, especially when I'm putting myself out there, and I got younger sisters. I want them to know it's okay to sweat. Maybe you don't got to put it on blast for everybody to see, but it's okay. It's okay to let yourself fall down and have that type of break, because I used to not believe that. I used to be real headstrong, kind of like my father, to where it's like, men don't cry, and that's how I felt. Yeah, for sure.
And I was speaking to someone about men don't cry because I have a 16-year-old, and I teach my kids emotional intelligence. But that's a whole different story. But like when you say something about the moon, I'm more like I feel energy, and the moon, like when it's a full moon, like I'm not a werewolf, I'm not a witch, I'm not a warlock, I'm not any of that, like whatever you want to say. But that energy, and I'm like a really energetic being. So when the sun is out and shining bright, I feel that.
Yeah.
And what people see the sun looking like, I feel it and I see it. And that's the same with the moon. It's beautiful and I can feel that energy. And that's the time where I'm like manifesting. I'm speaking into myself. I'm releasing things from me that I don't no longer want to be. And that's big for me.
Yes, that's really big. I've been affirming a lot for myself lately as well. That's really big. I'm glad.
You got to.
I've been trying to put
I said the year of focus.
Yeah. Yes, that's the one. That's the one I liked when you're talking about your surface level conversations, right? Yeah, year of focus for sure. That's what I really listened to that, and I was like, she right, because that's exactly where I'm at right now. Like focus, and focus. That's the best word I could describe as this year, and I could show it better than I could ever talk about it. Like definitely going to be down to some new things and just new experiences. When I came in and you were like, how's your year so far? I could just feel it already being better than last year. And I was like,
it's better than last year. It's great.
We are up from where we used to be, and I like that. Like I was down. I was down emotionally. I was down spiritually, and those are my main. Like those are most, as a woman, that's most important to me. That's so much most important to me, because I could have money going good for me. I can have physical going good for me, but my spirit feel down, or like my emotions ain't up, or I'm going through this roller coaster.
It's not.
It ain't it. It don't matter what else going on. It ain't it, for me to try to be clear-minded on anything. So, yeah.
Yeah. I had went through some stuff last year, and I had to look at myself because I didn't understand why I was going through it, because it wasn't what I was putting out, but it was what I was letting in. And I didn't understand that, because people were like, it's whatever you put out, you're going to get back. No, baby. No, that's not true, because what I was putting out, like, I always put out good. I always put out love, but it was what I was letting in. It was what I was allowing. And then it started changing me to make me put out toxic stuff because of what I was letting in.
Yeah.
And it came out, like, it came into me toxic, and it came out toxic.
Of course.
And it was just a lot, because I was like, why is this happening? Like, what am I doing wrong? And then also the fact that God was like, you are a people pleaser, India. You are sitting here trying to make everybody happy. You are pushing everything about you to the back for everybody else. Now I got to remove some of these darn people that don't even deserve you.
Exactly.
And it's gonna hurt, and it's gonna come out making you probably look like the bad guy. You're gonna be the villain in this story, but you're not the villain. You know who you are. And I was like, this year I understood that. Now I can tell God, okay, thank you, and I understand. But when I was going through it, baby, God, what you got going on there?
What's happening?
Who did this? Because I don't deserve this. I didn't do this. Like, this is high school. This is terrible. Like, what? Everybody is reading me the wrong way. But then I started noticing, like, India, people reading you the wrong way because you're not even being who you are.
Definitely.
You dimming everything about you.
Or perhaps you are being who you are. People are just catching wind of that, and they're misusing it. Because when you're a people pleaser, you like to see people pleased. Nothing really wrong with that, but what's wrong with that is that there's people that's going to come and take advantage of that, and then you lose discernment and you don't know who those people are. And now it's like, yeah, you end up in this rut where it's like, damn, I've been used and I've been pleasing all these people because I want to see people happy. But yeah, you end up getting misused, and then it's always God letting you know, don't do that no more.
And that's what make me be like, you know what, solitude, okay, God, listen, keep them motherfuckers away. Keep them away. Keep it away.
Oh yeah.
So now that discernment, that intuition, that the naiveness, all that's gone. Everything is coming back that's needed, and
I'm still working on it. I'm definitely still working on not being naive. It's just, it's because it's either if I'm either coming at it with benefit of the doubt or skepticism, and I need to find some balance in between that. I no longer want to give just everybody the benefit of the doubt. Fuck that. But I don't want to just be skeptical about everybody.
Oh my God, that's what I was saying.
And I'm trying to find a middle ground so I can because the relationship with myself this year has to be strong. But now that's where the loneliness is going to come from, because when you really start loving yourself and learning what your boundaries are, and that you're an energetic being, and that you can't just accept energy from anything and everybody, it's like, solitude.
And I've noticed that, because I was like, darn, I came in this year lonely as shit in solitude. I had my people, like, we did like a FaceTime and stuff, but I came in this year, I wanted to come in with someone, but people have other plans and stuff, and it was okay. So I was like, darn, okay, God want me to be by myself. And in reality, though, I'm not gonna lie, like, even before the new year, a whole week I was in solitude. Like, girl, you probably didn't know, but I wasn't posting on social media.
I did, yeah.
You did? Like, I was not on social media. I was like, just to me.
Yeah.
And it felt freaking amazing.
Did it?
Oh my God, it felt great. I got so much shit done. I was like, yeah, and I was just with God, like, I don't know, like, my relationship is so different with God, but it's like so much that even when I'm going through stuff, I'm like, darn, like, I just know that it's going to work out. So I have honestly found myself at a place where I'm not going to say this year financially has been great. Like, I've been going through some stuff.
For sure.
But it's like, you don't pray if you're going to worry.
Yeah.
And don't worry if you're going to pray.
Amen.
And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just going to pray, not worry.
Yeah, I know, right?
I guess. Oh. But when are you going to come through again? Because it's looking a little, You know.
Going back to what you said when you were like, you're going through a hard year last year and you were speaking with God and you felt like there were things you don't deserve. I've felt like that as well. I feel like that was so long ago. It's been so long since I felt like anything that didn't happen to me I didn't deserve. Because I'm a firm believer in that there's like no coincidences in life. Like everything that happened is supposed to happen. It was written like that for real. I think that we've got an option to like determine our fate as far as the experiences we choose. But I feel like everything that has happened to me I did deserve. I kind of go into like the Bible when you think about the book of Job, and he was a righteous man who didn't deserve any of that, but he went through it and it built him better than ever. That's how I kind of see it. Like, not that I say I'm righteous or I'm in a Job season. I don't say stuff like that because I feel like Job was a righteous man. I'm not righteous. So I try to live as righteous as I can, but like, I'm not righteous like Job. Job was righteous. I am not. If some shit happened to me, yeah, I might have deserved it, but I might have. But I won't complain about it.
Yes. Like, look, I ain't gonna complain.
I'll be like, you know what, it's okay. I was touching the stove. It was hot. Shouldn't have did that.
And you know what? And that's true. So I like it when you put it that way because most likely God was like, hey, you forgetting about you. Mm-hmm. And with me forgetting about me and me having this high, this high functioning codependency, and me want to be this people pleaser and just forgetting everything about who I am, what I'm supposed to be doing, the work I'm supposed to be doing.
Yes,
I deserved it.
Yes, for sure.
And now look at me.
Back on top.
Back on top. Back where I'm supposed to be.
That's how it is.
In flow in my divine.
Back exactly where the Lord wanted you. I feel that. Like I said, real stubborn relationship with God. I feel like it was a lot of times last year where because one thing I love about the Lord is free will. I love that. Everybody's got a choice to do it. You really got a choice. And so just going to him and letting him know what I was going to do. Honestly. Yeah. That's literally how conversations went. I went to bed. I would be like, God, listen. I know this. I'm not sure how you feeling about this. But I'm going to go ahead and do this and this and the third, or see how this is, or see what this person's about. And lo and behold, man. And I loved it because I went to him and there was so many things that he showed me, but of course with lack of discernment that I was dealing with at the time, and still deal with now, but definitely now I know that like just the relationship is real solid, because I never go to a stray because I need him, but it's like, I need to listen more. That's all it is. I need to listen the first time. That's what it is. Because I
listen to the first time.
But listening the first time is different.
It is. and
it saves me. It'll save us more time if we listen the first time.
It will.
It'll save us more heartbreak if we listen the first time.
I'm going to listen the first time too.
Okay. We're going to do better.
Yeah. So that means any red flag, we don't ignore that. We
don't.
The
first one.
Friendship, relationship, family ship, business ship. I don't care what type of ship. The first red flag is like, okay, well, ding,
bye.
Conversation ship. I don't care. Like, listen, whatever it may be, red flag.
First one, I've got to call it out, and we're gonna see what you do about that.
Yeah.
Once I call it out and let you know what you are, what you did, or what triggered me, or something that's a disconnect within your alignment, your spirit, whatever. Once I call it out and you don't address it, oh yeah.
Well, it just depends though, because if it's a conversation that we just having, and we may go out somewhere and then have conversations come up and it's really about business or just an intellectual conversation and start going left. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go right, right up out this damn conversation.
You went left and I'm gonna go right. Okay,
but you have a great night.
Miss Indy, thank you for joining me in this Girls Talk conversation. I really am honored, and I am giggly and crush-like and blushing at the moment.
Oh,
on the inside and out. Yeah, no. But
listen. I definitely enjoyed the conversation. I thank you for bringing me on.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that you were my first Girl Talk conversation. I knew that I wanted it to be you, and I knew that I had something around. There is something I do want to talk about if you'll come and join. I want to talk about gratitude next time you come.
Oh, yes.
I feel like you have a lot of gratitude, and you've been through a lot of things, and you still are like grateful. And so I need that to be on display.
Of course.
For sure. With me.
I definitely will.
On my podcast. I need to.
On mine. Yes. No one else's. Called it first.
Most definitely. territorial like that for real.
Yeah.
But yes, thank y'all for tuning in. Please follow Miss Indy here, Bosses and Brunches on YouTube for the podcast, and Surface Level Conversations.
Yeah.
There is a book coming out. There's a workshop self-work book coming out February 7th.
Yes.
For sure. I'm excited. Men, buy it for your ladies. Lady, buy it for yourself.
Yes. Men, you can buy it for yourself.
You can buy it too.
You can buy it for your mama, your daddy, your auntie, your uncle, your kid.
Your mama needs some healing work.
Oh, definitely. That generational, never mind. But yes, February 7th, available on Amazon. Echoes of Love, Lessons of Loss.
Yes, Echoes of Love. I love that.